that I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys. We're coming. Hold on. Let me see if I can just do it on my computer.
All right, we're
Are we
good.
live?
Wait,
Are we
we're
live?
All right.
Are we
Big
good?
game.
Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we can. We're good. I think we just unmuted it. But big game, Sunday Night Football, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans. We just got news. No Nico Collins.
No Nico?
No Nico Collins, which, they kind of teased it all week like he was playing. You got the official news. He's not playing. And we'll get to the Za'Darius Smith stuff because he's not playing as well. But I will say this. And by the way, for those, we had our mic muted. That's on us.
Yeah, 30.
We are in Detroit at Tin Roof, away game. We're fired up.
Time out.
Hey, let me damn it. All right, we're at Tin Roof, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans. Like I said, no Nico Collins. And they kind of teased it all week like he's off IR, he might play, and then you get the official announcement, no Nico Collins. I think, hey, boys, big news. He's their big playmaker. He's the guy that helps CJ push the ball downfield. It's important.
I want to, since they were muted, I was doing the 30-second timeout. We didn't get sponsor shout out, Real American Beer here at the Tin Roof. We're going to be here multiple times this season.
Yep.
It's confirmed. We're going to be at Tin Roof a couple times here and there, but shout out Real American Beer. Hey, it's the best beer on the planet.
Best beer in America, boys.
In America, on the planet.
On the planet.
Yeah, we got
shout out Real American Beer, baby.
We got the Real American truck outside.
No Nico Collins, though. That makes it for the secondary that much easier.
Yeah.
It makes it that much easier. Obviously, it's still we've seen the Lions defensively, the secondary go through different, even bad teams, bad quarterbacks give up 300 yards. We saw it last year with Nick Mullins. So there's probably going to be production out of C.J. Stroud. You're not going to stop C.J. Stroud. But he's limited weapons. You saw, I think, last week without Nico and without all these guys with Tank Dell, I think he only threw for 180 yards last week.
Yeah,
so it's limited. It is limited.
That was with Tank Dell, and Tank Dell, Nico Collins out. Tank Dell on Friday left practice with a back injury. And if you look at Tank Dell, he's a small frame wide receiver. He's a wide receiver that can kill you on big plays.
Yep.
When you look at Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Kirby's not going to be letting up the big plays and he's going to be in the slot. Brian Branch should be over there. Brian Branch got ejected last week. Brian Branch is probably going to be out for heads. Not literally, so he doesn't get ejected. But Brian Branch is going to be fucking playing some ball. Tank Dell, I would say low probability that he finishes the game if he goes out and gets multiple catches just because he's going to be getting hit by this defense.
It's going to be a long night for Tank Dell.
Yeah,
those receivers.
You got to think of Nico's importance. For CJ, when he does his 5-step drops back, Nico Collins is 1A, downfield, big target, and now he's not there. So, now CJ's got to step up in the pocket, which allows Lee McNeil to get loose here. That's why they've allowed the most sacks in the NFL on the interior of the offensive line. I think Aleem McNeil, we'll talk about it in a second.
I'm excited to see Aleem tonight.
Well, we'll get to it. I mean, Za'Darius Smith is not playing. So we kind of knew that was going to happen. Feeling of it because Browns have a bye week. Za'Darius Smith was on the Browns. He gets traded to the Lions. Technically, Dan's a player's coach. He was going to give him that opportunity. Hey, you can rest this week. And I think it's the right decision.
I agree. I think Dan mentioned this week, it was just long-term wise, if you look at a full season through week 17 and into the playoffs, you need a break. And you can't let Za'Darius Smith, he's 32 years old. As much as the last 3 years he's been durable and he's been healthy for a long time, you still need to be able to take a break at 32 years old. And the bye week is probably a big week for him. He's able to rest all week. And when he comes back, like long-term, guys,
be a problem.
he is going to be a problem for this defense. Yeah, and I think, and you know what? I love this. I keep seeing this on the internet, and I can't remember. I think it might have been Steve Lehman who sent it to me. Shout out to Steve in the chat if he's in here. He sent me the picture after I brought it up Friday, compared him to the Rasheed Wallace acquisition for the Detroit Pistons in 04. It was 04, get Rasheed Wallace, win a championship. Yeah. Now you turn around here, the Detroit Lions, not 04, 2024, you add Za'Darius Smith, that last missing piece, to go win a championship. I'm pumped though. I wish he would have played, and I bet you if you gave Za'Darius an option, he would have said, yeah, I'm in, because that's what it sounded like. I think Dan made the right decision in saying, hey, I'm not going to say this is a bad Texas team, because it's the NFL, anything can happen.
They're good.
But if there's a game like, all right, so many players out, no Nico, they're missing Stephon Diggs now. Like, I think this is a game where you're like, hey, sit back. We're going to try and take care of business. We've done it for the last 2 weeks without you. Let's go 3-0 without any edge rusher, and we'll go and take care of business when you come back as well.
Because you're building the confidence of the defense regardless of the base unit right now that you've had throughout the season, especially without Hutch. You go into Houston, you limit C.J. Stroud. That's a confidence boost.
Right.
Then Za'Darius Smith, rest up for a week. And we got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming to town next weekend. That's going to be – you got Mac Jones under center probably. Za'Darius Smith's going to be able to boost his confidence, and everything's just going to mesh perfectly, because I think what you want is your point. Avoid injury, avoid anything messing with the chemistry of the team, but then get those 2 weeks against the Jags and the Colts, and then you got either, I believe it's the Bears or the Packers again, and that's a big divisional matchup.
Yep.
Yeah, the Bears lost to the Patriots, but the Bears have just played the Lions hard the last couple of seasons. That's a game that you want to win, especially the Packers. You can sweep them. Za'Darius is a guy that played in Green Bay, so he'll probably even like to have a little bit more incentive in that game. He's going to. So Za'Darius Smith, would have loved to see him out there. I understand why, but can't wait to see him on the field, because I don't think he's the player that Rasheed Wallace was, as far as Rasheed was like all-pro type of player, all-star type of player. Za'Darius isn't that, but where the weakness is with this defense right now, the impact, it's going to be right up there. So I think Za'Darius is huge. Like we talked about it before, Booner, between me and you, we kind of go back forth with it. Like, if they didn't have a legitimate edge, I didn't think they could win a Super Bowl. They could get to the game, but winning it, I didn't think they'd be able to. You add Za'Darius Smith, people like me, the confidence goes up, and I think the Detroit Lions are right back on the path.
I will say, and Jeff, and I think you would probably agree with me, like Za'Darius, when you make these trade acquisitions and you bring a guy like Za'Darius Smith in, you have to be careful on the player you're bringing in, the person the player is, this and that. Za'Darius Smith, you already saw it. We showed it on the show on Friday. Za'Darius Smith came in instantly. He's out there already in the defensive line group, out there dancing with them. He shows the leadership already. Like, he knows, hey, I'm the best defensive lineman on this crew now. Like, I need to have some leadership. I need to show that I'm a vet here. And, like, he did it instantly. And, like, if you go out and get someone else, you might not have that. Za'Darius fits in instantly, and he's about winning Super Bowls. He's about being a team guy. I feel like he's, like, the perfect fit for this Detroit Lions defense. I don't even think it's a question. I think it's an unbelievable fit at the end of the day. Yeah. I can't wait next week. Who is it next week? The Jags?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
R.I.P. Trevor
Jones,
Lawrence.
Doug
R.I.P.
Peterson.
Trevor Lawrence instantly.
Mac Jones maybe.
Instantly.
He kind of balled up.
Oh, Mac Jones? Hey. Who took the spread?
Yeah, it was a rough. I was just saying, a rough week. The only one I care about is the Steelers beating the Commanders, but everything else, Booner did. He got us.
It was a good pick.
That was the first down by Zach Ertz.
Now you mentioned the Rasheed Wallace trade. I think what Za'Darius brings that this team does desperately need. I think Aiden brought it is kind of that edge. Like, it's not, no pun intended.
Confidence.
But like like when you have Aiden out there suiting up, okay, we got this dude. We got number 97.
Yeah.
Za'Darius isn't Aiden, but he does bring that. Okay. You know what? We got a guy on this defensive line that, he gets some one-on-ones. This dude can win them. And you saw it happen consistently in Cleveland. In the way Aleem McNeil's playing right now, he will get one-on-ones. You're going to want him for this divisional stretch. I mean, he gets to face the Packers, the Vikings again. He's going to be motivated. They should be fine this week. He's not. I don't think he's a guy like, and I want to see the Nico Collins thing. I think does move the line. I mean, it has to. No Nico Collins. I don't know what the line is now.
Let me see. I can pull it up.
He was kind of expected to play. Now he's not. He's that type of player.
It's -4 now. Detroit Lions.
It moved a whole point because it was 3.5 earlier.
By the way, and I know we're doing gambling later, dude. I saw a stat. Dan Campbell, since he's been the head coach of the Lions, against the spread, the Lions are like 80%, I think it was, or like 78%.
Yeah, they cover.
In prime time, the last 8 games, 8-0 against the spread. That's nuts.
Yeah. And
That's
it's probably
insane.
like the ones where he lost was early on when they're playing like the LA Rams. And
But they
San
always
Francisco
covered.
49ers.
They always are in the game.
And that's when they got good, they got in prime time. They haven't really lost. They cover everything since. So, I mean, they're ready for this stage. They are. The thing I look at, guys, and I guess when you look at this Lions offense, what I'm excited about, you get Jameson Williams back. Jameson Williams is back. He's playing. He's been with the team. Like, conditioning-wise, he's ready to go. He's been in the building. Like, it's not like, oh, is he on a snap count? Like, no, they're letting him go. He's going to get just the same amount of snaps as he did prior to getting suspended. That, to me, is an X-factor type of player because we talk about it all the time. When J-Mo's out there, defense has got to guard you a little differently. You can take the top off. And with this defense, now, although the secondary statistically for the Texans have been really good, they're up there in the league in passing touchdowns allowed. Mm-hmm. And you got a guy who can get a touchdown in, one play coming back. It's pretty significant, Jameson Williams.
And I'm wondering what they're going to do with him just because the last couple of weeks, even before the week J-Mo got suspended, he only had, 1 target, 2 targets, so he has been that implemented. But I wonder if they just want to get J-Mo going again for the second half of the year, second stretch of the season now that he's been suspended, get his confidence back up. If you look at the matchups, me and Boone were talking before, I would not be surprised at all if Derek Stingley was manned up on Jameson Williams a lot more than people expect, just because when you look at J-Mo, longer wide receiver can get you down the field. I mean, you cannot let those big plays up, and I think Derek Stingley matches up with them well, so it's going to be even more difficult, in my opinion, for J-Mo to have a big impact play down the field. We talked about Kalen Boer going into this game. He's a rookie safety, but he's got 3 picks on the year. He looks like a young Kirby Joseph, so J-Mo, I hope he goes out there, performs. Obviously, it's not a bend or break if it doesn't, but I'm not expecting a lot out of J-Mo, but I think he gets a couple of targets. But I don't think they're like, oh, J-Mo's back, take shots down the field. I think they stick to the course of what they've been doing.
I don't know if it'll be like, let's take shot. I do think Dan is one of those guys with the chip on his shoulder to where J-Mo comes back and he emphasizes like, let's get him back involved. Let's just get this guy back involved in the offense. Because he wasn't involved for the last 2 weeks. So like we gotta set that identity and let people know J-Mo is still a part of this offense. You know what I mean? Like that's my thought process on it. Now there could be the side to where Dan's like, and Bandage is like, hey, let's just let him get back into things and do it slowly. I don't see that being the case at all. I think they're like, let's get him. He's right back to where he was 2 weeks ago.
Couple carries, maybe one or two.
Yeah.
I think probably like 3-4 catches, but I don't think this is going to be like a J-Mo like huge game.
Well, his line's at like 2.5. I think his catches, which like I'm hammering that over. If it's at 2.5, even if it's at 3.5, I feel pretty comfortable. I think he gets 4 catches today. I mean, this is someone that I think over time now with this offense has kind of developed into more than just a deep field, down the field guy. Now, before he was suspended, the Vikings game, he had like 1 catch for -2 yards.
Yeah.
I think you'll start to see the stretch of football you saw beforehand today. I think J-Mo's kind of – and another player I think, too, is with him today is someone that's been a little more quiet. And I'm not too familiar. We talked about the linebackers for the Texans, and they got Jimmy Ward, who kind of his role, I guess, is he's mainly a slot. He's in the slot, too.
No, he's probably going to be like an in-box, like safety type of thing.
So he'll be
when you talk about Sam Laporta – now you can just leave Jimmy Ward because Jimmy Ward was playing for the Niners, really good player there. Another player that D'Amico Ryans brought over. So that's a guy that you can put on Sam Laporta, and you can have Derek Stingley, Jalen Petrie, whoever you feel comfortable with in the situation on Amon-Ra. So Jimmy Ward being active definitely helps his defense because it's almost like, okay, now you can let Kalen Bullock just play back. Yeah. And then worry about J-Mo. But Jimmy Ward's a really good player. He's past his prime, but he's still just a guy that's going to be in the right spot a lot of the time. Good tackler.
I will say, too.
And with Laporte, real quick, with Laporta's line.
It's going low. Down. It started at 35.5. Guess what it's at right now?
What, 33
31.
I
don't know why. I don't know what's going on.
Suspect.
It's weird. It's fishy, but guess what? You know what I love? Love fishy, Jeff. I love it.
Bro loves it when it's fishy. I
will say this, though. One thing that I've noticed, and this is a look ahead to the Booner bets today. The Houston Texans, Jeff, you mentioned yesterday they're one of the best pass defenses in the NFL.
Yep.
In yards, passing yards.
I'll chest piece you. Here.
It's just the data.
Third in the NFL.
Looking you dead in your eyes right now.
Third in the NFL and giving up passing touchdowns with 19 total on the year. The only people worse than them, actually tied for second. The only team worse than them is the Baltimore Ravens, and they gave up 3 or 4 to Joe Burrow. So going into this week, that defense was the worst offense against passing touchdowns. That's a look ahead to Booner bets because I will be using that data for something. But I think that's interesting. Like,
statistically, they are one of the best, but passing touchdowns, they allow a lot of.
It's kind of opposite to the Detroit Lions defense. Detroit Lions defense gives up 1 million yards, and they don't give up touchdowns. This team, they give up touchdowns, don't give up yards.
You said you like it fishy. You like a little stank on it. But something like you talk about this defense, gives up not that many yards, but a lot of touchdowns. Smells like Amon-Ra. Smells like
hold on, Coach. Real quick, Coach Walk, big shout out. He just became a member for 6 months, Gold Crunch member.
There we go.
You know what he said? Take Amon-Ra St. Brown and the yards, Jeff. He knows. Coach knows how skeptical I've been.
I've been saying that all week. I've been going, I want Amon-Ra this week.
You're looking at the impact players. He was on the impact players.
Bro.
I'm with you.
That means we're all aligned.
We are aligned.
I love it. I love being aligned with the fellas.
He's off the. I was being a baby with the no bet list. Just the yards. He's back.
You got to do that. Well, we should maybe make sure Jeff stays off any lines of it.
Yeah.
You can take the receptions.
I was open to just touchdowns. I'm open to yards now. I'm open with both for him.
I do think it's a big Amon-Ra because Amon-Ra in prime times most of the time
loves it. He loves touchdowns.
The best players show up in the biggest moments, and that's just how it is. Like,
should we predict the touchdown dance today in Houston?
Is not a holiday?
Hey, brother.
Think he hits a sketch?
Hey, brother.
Hold on.
Boone's been waiting. Boone's been preparing this all day.
Hey, brother.
You know what I'll say? Though? Just kind of we're speaking some positives, right? With J-Mo coming back. I'll get to a little bit of negative here, okay? No Taylor Decker.
Yeah.
I'm curious who gets how do they construct this offensive line? To me personally, I would move Pinay to left and put either maybe Dan Skip at right tackle.
That's what I think going to happen.
I would put Pinay on his blind side because they don't have Will Anderson, yes, but they still have Daniil Hunter. And, dude, you have Dan Skipper or Colby on that left side. Jared's blind side's in a tough position here, even if you try and double him or chip him.
Because Taylor Decker's been struggling to begin with the last couple of weeks. We expect him to get back on track, at least with pass blocking. Run blocking has been fine.
Yeah.
They've already been kind of leaky. And with the mind like D'Amico Ryans, and they got the Bobby Slowik on offense, so it's D'Amico just cooked. They get a lot of these guys back from injuries that they've been missing. I bet D'Amico, he's been plotting for this game because they know the way that Houston is right now. They're still not locking down the AFC South. So this is, in my opinion, a must-win game for them because the Colts and all those teams, they're not. I mean, at least the Jags, the Titans, they're far back, but the Colts somehow are right on their ass.
Yeah.
The Texans know that they should not be in that situation. So he wants to try to prove a statement defensively. No Decker, no problem, in my opinion. Just because he's been struggling, it might be a little bit more of an impact. Like, obviously, Taylor Decker to Skipper or Sorsdahl, there's a drop-off.
Right.
But Taylor Decker has not been playing his best football. So I think the Lions, the way that they've just roll out there, I agree with you, move Pinay to left tackle. He played it in college. That's the most important position on the offensive line. Protect Goff blindside, and this team will just be fine. Because running the ball, Goff will be able to get the ball out quick. I think Ben Johnson's going to be able to
Achillio says in the chat, Jamarco Jones at right tackle. I don't know if that's official. Jamarco
I do
Jones.
not. I haven't heard anything, and I'll reach out to
Colby's inactive. That's what he said.
Colby
is inactive, but I think it's going to be Skip. I think Skip ends up playing right tackle. I think last year, I don't remember who filled in. But
whoever it is, as long as they're playing right, we're good. Just put Pinay at left. He can do it. He's an
You guys know this song? I do that TikTok dance to it?
No, you can do it.
No, I'm not going to do it. Great song, though.
Great song. I think the Daniil Hunter, I mean, he's a problem. That dude.
Go Lions. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Let's go. J-Mo.
There we go.
They should have won today.
Go Lions,
they should have won today. They should have won today. That's it's fucked up.
Tobias.
I know. Tobias' ass.
Well, he was like 85.8 at the line.
Just getting pressed about the
Tobias missed two.
Was he worth the $20 million? What was it? What was the game difference signing?
20-something game difference. Tobias Harris coming to Detroit.
They just gave you a -1 difference.
Hey, that guy.
He's already lost the game for us.
Hey, that guy says Broderick Martin transitioned the offense, but Broderick
is out tonight. Broderick confirmed is out.
Yeah, Broderick's out, and if he's out as well, and Emmanuel Mosley out as well, Malcolm Rodriguez out. So they'll be all right. They have enough depth here.
I do think, though, with the Pinay thing, guys, I know it's a big deal, like Taylor Decker out. And anytime there's an offensive lineman out, especially, you have to remember, we had this conversation a couple weeks ago when Frank Ragnow was out.
Yeah.
Frank is a bigger piece, and no offense to Taylor Decker. but he means a lot more to this offensive line than Taylor Decker. And, like, if a Frank is down or a Panay is down, you're sitting there and you're like, okay, now we can start questioning it.
Yeah.
Taylor Decker down, you're like, okay, that is it's a big deal, but it's not that big. They were able to find a way to move things around and go with Graham Glasgow at center, and they were able to find ways to put this thing together with Yodi. I think I have no worries that tonight they don't do the same thing. They move Panay over. That's my guess. Panay goes to left tackle, Skipper at right. And you go.
You bring out Brock Wright on a couple plays when you want to launch it.
Yeah.
Have him stay.
You
on
have
the
an extra
block.
tight end. You have D-Mont. Remember last week we saw the D-Mont block? Like, you have D-Mont out there.
Bully in pass
Great
protection.
block.
Hey, I know that. I don't know how crazy this is. But maybe he can't.
Hey, real quick too. Cheers, Real American Beer. Shout out.
Shout out to him.
Sponsor of the show. And can I give a shout out real quick?
Go ahead, Bill.
Mama Boone, birthday. Shout out my mom.
Shout out Mama Boone.
Hey, it's my mom's birthday today.
Happy
I
birthday.
did tell her. I talked to her on the phone this morning. She said, "You give me a shout out on the show." I said, Absolutely, you get a shout out on the show, Mom. She's probably watching.
You birthed this man, you get a shout out.
Shout out.
Hey, we got Boone. Shout out Mama Boone.
Shout out Mama
I'm
Boone.
spending her birthday here with the boys drinking Real American Beer.
Cheers,
and
fellas.
watching the Detroit Lions.
Great son.
Shout out. Hey, gotta do what I gotta do, you know?
Business is business, Bill.
Shout out Mama Boone, though. Shout out my mom.
Hey, well,
Happy birthday.
yeah, shout out Mama Boone. Happy birthday. The Taylor Decker, I was going to say this. I don't know if it sounds crazy. They're not going to do this, but I'm just spitballing here.
Spitballing.
You mentioned Yodi. Yodi's a fine.
Could he?
He
No.
Watch where you're pointing that finger.
Graham, tackle. Is it crazy? Put Yodi at guard.
Graham's. I feel like
He's
Graham's done it.
played tackle
Yeah, but
before.
here now you're just
You're doing too much?
You're doing way too much. You have a
That's fair.
tackle that
That's
can
fair.
slide over. Dan Skipper can
I'll
play
spitball.
tackle. It's almost like you got a weakness and now you're creating two weaknesses.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, like he could do it. Graham could definitely do it, but wouldn't you rather just keep Graham doing what he's doing great? Him and Zeitler and Frank. Have
No,
been a
listen,
fucking
Klotz, I will
monster.
say this, though. When you have a guy go down offensively, and if you have a guy like Graham, the reason you resign him is because he's flexible.
But you want to put him at center, not tackle.
Yeah.
It's a completely because tackle you
Graham's
got to be
Graham.
long.
Well, Tyler
Graham,
said Glasgow doesn't have the long arms for it,
Yeah,
which is
you
fair.
got to be long. You got to be
One game?
Well, you can just leave him there and he can just bully people like he has been. You got Frank right next to him, then you got
That's true.
Zeitler, then you got Panay. You just got to worry about that
I
one
will
guy
say,
instead of
and I know that Taylor Decker has had issues too. And by the way, he played good last week too. Remember we said it.
Decker bounced back.
It's a stretch
last
of football, and it's one of those. This is one of the things that bothers me sometimes, and it's every fan base. It's not just the Lions. It's every fan base. When a guy has a rough stretch of football, that's just the nature of the business. People are going to say something. You're going to get criticized.
And our job is to mention it.
Yes, and we will do that. But remember, I mentioned, hey, he's going to bounce back.
Absolutely.
Taylor Decker is a top 10, maybe top 15 tackle in the NFL paid
top
wise.
15.
And when he's playing at his best, he's top 15. So he was always going to bounce back. It's so quick, too, when that happens, for people to be like, let's move to the next guy. It's easy. But if you stick with him, but guys, you have Daniil Hunter.
Okay. I was like,
I know. We're going up against Daniil Hunter.
He's a beast.
So no matter what, it is going to be a challenge for Dan Skipper. If Graham moves out, whoever it is. Sorry for the pause. I was thinking about what I had to say before.
The Texans with Will
Glad I
Anderson.
remembered.
Keyword with Will Anderson. They get. They're up there for sacks in the league.
Yeah, it's probably the best edge rushing duo in the NFL.
Yeah, and they're missing Will Anderson. So you're more open to double teaming Daniil, knowing that Will Anderson isn't getting one-on-one. So it'll favor him. It's like a trade, eye for an eye here. You get Daniil out, Taylor Decker's out. So I like him tonight.
I mean, the Texans lose that situation because Will Anderson was like not defensive player of the year, but there's games where it's like this dude is going to eventually win a defensive player of the year award in the NFL.
Right.
Can I ask a question here? Let me bring up something else.
We might have an answer for you, Boone.
I want to talk about this here. Players to watch. Can I just ask? Confidence level. A guy by the name of Joe Mixon. He's played 6 games this year, 5 of them over 100. I think
4 straight.
Offense. We have offense. We'll get to Joe. We'll get to the defense.
That's me. On me.
No, you're good. No,
But they're gone.
but no, we're going to get to Joe Mixon because Boone's
Like
right. We're going to
Newton,
discuss
really.
it.
Detroit Lions offense. All right, let's talk
So
about
players
Jamo.
to watch. Name a guy. You give me a breakout player if you just want to keep an eye on. You don't give out Boone. He's this
I'm not
impact
going to
player.
give legacy. I'll say
Legacy
this
player.
with the legacy player, and if people want to know this, I have been between 4 people.
It's been a
And I
tough
know
one.
that sounds. I'm going around here, and typically I have a good feel of it, and I'm like, hey, I got my hand on the pulse. I know exactly who I want to go. Today feels like a day that anyone could go off. It feels like Sam Laporta can have a day. It feels like Amon Ra. It feels like Demon or Gibbs. It feels like Jamo can go out there. One player I kept talking about bringing up was Jared Goff as the legacy player because it feels like he's
an
going to have a
MVP
big
game, dude.
Feels like he's going to have a big game.
Out at a comedy show last night from the Sonic Theater before the show.
Jared Goff.
No.
Jared Goff.
It's
Love it.
everywhere.
Wow.
It's everywhere.
So
It's in the air.
So I've been going
It's
through
in
all of them. I've decided on a player. I just did about 5 minutes ago. I think I'm confident in it. But player to watch out for, I'll say this.
Say it. Because I got one.
Sione Baki.
Give me Jared Goff to watch out for. I
Big game for
think
Goff.
today, Jared Goff, I think he ends up having an MVP performance. He hasn't hit 200-plus yards in a couple weeks. And he had that stretch of football where he had 350, 325, 375, 250.
Yep.
And then he had a couple weeks where it's like you're in Green Bay with the rain. You don't need to throw. What was the week before that? Drawing a blank here. But he had 2 back-to-back games under 200.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are the 2 games where it's like, okay, he's about to bounce back this week.
Yeah, the Titans. He didn't have to do
Titans,
anything.
yes. And he's out in the fourth quarter anyways.
Yeah.
I think
they
today
destroyed
it's a 250-yard game for Jared Goff, 2 or 3 touchdowns, and he's going to be like 19 for 23. And he's going to put up an MVP performance, and you're like, all right, he's the MVP again.
So I'll say, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown, that is my impact player on offense. I think he goes out there, has a big day. I don't care who's guarding him. You know what? You can have him because I got 2.
No, hey, why don't we just both agree? Hey, we don't, like we said earlier, we can be on the same wavelength here.
We should be.
How about this?
Where you guys going to go?
How about this? We agree it's Amon-Ra, me and Klotzy. I think it's important.
Love that.
I really
Love
do
that.
think Sam Laporta is going to get involved this week. He's going to look – because the Packers game, he had a big catch to kind of start, but then kind of after that, you didn't see – I think he'll be someone today consistently. He does – you'll see Goff going to Laporta.
Yeah.
I don't know who – you'd know this, but who's guarding him?
Aziz. We just talked about
Is he
Jimmy
good?
Ward.
Is he like
Aziz
a good
is
cover linebacker
Aziz
like
is
that?
Athletic. He's aggressive, so he might – if there's going to be a tight end that gets him, it's Laporta because he's got a little bit of that finesse with him. You know what I mean?
I love it, but Amon-Ra.
But Jimmy
we agree.
Ward, too, I wouldn't be surprised if he – Same thing with, I don't think Laporta's not going to show up, but I just think Amon-Ra's going to have a fucking
cook,
game. And then, Laporta, I think of getting his 40-50. J-Mo could get his 40-50. He could potentially have a big play. I could be wrong. I just don't see it happening this week. But I think between Amon-Ra and the run game, those are going to be the guys that are eating up yards for the team.
I'll say this. I said it on the impact players. I think Amon-Ra gets 100 yards today.
I think 9 yards, 110, or 9 catches, 110 yards.
I said it on the show already. It was already set.
I know. But you remember the conversation? I was between 2 guys. Maybe Amon-Ra was one, and I've made a decision. I think I'm almost stepping back.
Hey, don't say it, but that's why I picked him. I think this is a game he goes out there. He's been up and down. This is a 100-yard Amon-Ra game. I do.
I love that, dude. All week in my mind, all I've been thinking about is Amon-Ra going for 100.
Dude, how do you're just not stopping him?
Yeah, I don't see a world you do stop.
You got to think on the road in an unfamiliar territory. Who do you go to? The man you trust. The man you trust.
Some guy.
Which is Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Go to the Sun God. Because if they, that's why, when you look at Derek Stingley, he's a skinnier corner and he's not that tall. Amon-Ra is so physical. You talk about, man-to-man matchups, Amon-Ra over the middle running, hitch routes or dig routes. He's just going to bully him. Stingley's going to be on his back, but he's still going to make the catch just because he knows how to position his body. I just think Stingley and Amon-Ra is a mismatch for Detroit. Both are great players, but just matchup-wise, it's bad for Stingley.
I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna relax.
He's really battling.
I've got 2 or 3 players, and I do have straight bets, so I have a little bit where I could. But
you know what? Let's get to the defense.
I thought I was gonna say the Booner Pass.
No, listen, Joe Mixon. He has been incredible. He's
all-pro type of season.
Dude. Yes, absolutely. He's had 100 yards in every game but one. Lions' run defense has been. I don't want to say they have not been bad. They've been leaky.
Exact word I was going to use.
Leaky. These big, 30, 20, 30, 40-yard runs will happen at points, but they're not terrible. They have to, and this is why I was excited to see Za'Darius potentially, but it's fine. That to me is probably especially no Nico Collins. The matchup is what does the DJ, Aleem, Josh is back, which is good for run defense purposes. Even when Josh played against Minnesota, Aaron Jones got loose. He almost had 100 yards.
Yeah.
What's your guys' kind of thoughts on this matchup? Because I think this could be. You're allowing CJ to operate an offense with the run game clicking. It's not fair. It's not a good position to be in.
Joe Mixon has been on a tear, and it's not a shot, but I don't have any reason to believe that Joe Mixon, who's playing better than Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones this year, is not going to do what they did against the Lions defense. If Tony Pollard is getting loose, I don't see a world where Joe Mixon is not. I don't think Joe Mixon's going to win the Tennessee Titans the game, But when you're without Nico Collins, the banged-up Tank Dell, they're going to be leaning on Joe Mixon. And when they've been doing that this year, him and his individually has been putting up numbers and getting in the end zone. Now, this Detroit Lions is a bend-don't-break defense, so I don't think we're going to see a 2-touchdown game out of Joe Mixon, which has happened a couple of times this year. But I think Joe Mixon's probably going to get at least 100 total yards in this game because out of the backfield as a receiving threat, he's very underrated too. So like in the screen games, when the Lions want to send the house, there's going to be a couple of times where we talk about Tank Dell, you want to go to him, or do you want to limit the usage with him with his injury and dump it down to Joe Mixon and let him make plays? So Joe Mixon, that's the offensive player for Houston that's going to really take this game over for them if that happens. If the Texans have a chance in this game, it's going to be through Joe Mixon offensively. I think he has a big game yardage-wise, but not touchdown-wise. But he's gonna have some big plays.
Yep.
I'm interested with, especially defensively, like the Joe Mixon thing. Again, I brought it up earlier when we were talking about the Lions offense. The man has played 6 games, I think, 6 or 7 games. He's only not had 100 yards in one game. And the last 4 games, he's had over 100 all-purpose yards. So Joe Mixon's playing at a different level. Like, he is in it, especially with guys out, they're relying on him a lot. Does that make me nervous? A little bit, because and then people in the chat, who was it that we had? Oh, Jeremy Reisman. Shout out Jeremy. We talked about on our show. We brought up earlier in the week and last week, we had the conversation that the Lions' run defense is starting to leak a little bit. And there's been those things. And AG said, hey, maybe it's just situationally. Maybe it's garbage yards. Jeremy came on our show and said the same thing. Was like, yeah, you could tell it has slipped a little bit without Hutch. So today you might see that. The one thing I look at, though, with this is this Detroit Lions red zone defense.
Yeah.
They are stout. They're one of the best in the NFL. I think they're second or third in the NFL.
Yeah.
Red zone defense, and they do not. And same with that on third down. Like, they do not give up big plays and touchdowns on red zone, and they don't give up big plays on third downs, which is like those are the 2 main things in the NFL. Actually, 3, sorry. And points given up. And guess what? Lions are top 5 in all 3 of those things. I think the defense is going to have a good day today, especially without all their weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and someone put it in the chat, I think it was Tyler. Tyler said if we can hold Mixon 80 yards rushing and 20 receiving yards, that's a good game for our defense. I think on anything under 100, man, I would take it.
Yeah, I would say I think he's going to get over the 100.
And
it's just that's what they got to do. If you're D'Amico, if you're Bobby Slowick, and you look at how to exploit this defense, it's clear it's through the run.
Right.
You do not want to be throwing the ball down the field against Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. You'd rather run it at him because this Detroit Lions, last couple of weeks they haven't, but we've seen it early on in the season. They've missed some tackles. Joe Mixon is a very physical runner. So it's going to be the Joe Mixon show offensively for Houston, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Like, they'd have to have Joe Mixon go off, Dalton Schultz go off, Tank Dell go. Like, everybody would have to go off around side that because the Lions offense is just going to go shoot, methodically go down the field and eat up time. So them relying on the run game, that's not how you beat Detroit. You got to have a good balance of both.
And with those linebackers they have, Anzalone and Jack Campbell, they will be okay. Those are 2 sideline to sideline guys. Jack Campbell has been on a tear the last couple of weeks. He's getting like double-digit tackles. He's gotten better in coverage. Anzalone's already great in coverage. So now you're getting 2 kind of cover linebackers that are just tackling machines. Yeah, the run defense is important, but those 2 guys are going to be so important.
Yeah.
They have to continue to plug the gaps. And with Jack tackling the way he's tackling, Texans got a problem on their hands.
They definitely do.
With Jack Campbell.
I'm interested in our corners today, to be honest. Like, who's up against St. Carlton? And I'm not going to say it. No interception.
Tank a slot guy?
Yeah, Tank's it, but they got to put him outside for some points.
Yeah, it might be a couple corners.
Who else? Robert Woods?
I bet like a Meeks on Tank a lot because Xavier Hutchinson was on the outside. He's a big boy. Robert Woods.
They're bare, man.
They really are.
Dalton Schultz. I'm telling you, Dalton Schultz will get more involved.
I don't know.
Okay, now it's a bit at this point. Like, they have no one to throw
bits
to.
Here.
They got no one.
Here, huh?
Besides Tank Dell, he's probably the guy that, I mean, you saw CJ's rookie year kind of depend on him at times before Nico. I mean, besides Tank, who you and Joe Mixon.
I'd say Joe Mixon. I think Robert Woods, though. If they're going to have like an actual number 2 wide receiver, be Robert Woods. He's just a vet. Like, he's just Stroud. Like, that's, at this point, it's kind of like an athletic tight end you have out there. He's not getting a 40-yard touchdown.
No.
But he's going to eat up the middle of the field.
Who said it? Ed O'Neill said if you hold Mixon to under 100 yards, you're golden.
They're blowing them out if they hold it under 100 yards.
Yeah, because, if you get up 2-3 scores, now you're looking at a different game from Joe Mixon. It depends how. If this game is tight all the way through, he'll probably get over.
Tom Izzo's watching. He said, Booner, you have nightmares over Georgia Tech now.
I'm having nightmares.
Yeah.
What happened with Georgia Tech?
You're the guy that picked them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get you the parlay.
Parlay will be out. Hey, it's a lock.
For Demon. David Montgomery, first touchdown.
Yeah. Demont.
David Montgomery,
He didn't
first
score
touchdown.
last week.
Yeah.
David Montgomery, first touchdown score.
It's got to be Demont.
We're all going to get on
He
it.
hasn't scored in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
He's due. They're gonna make sure. He's gonna make sure. I have that bet. It's like plus 550 right now.
Yeah, it's got to be Demont.
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube. Hey. Marketing. Some great folks here down at Tin Roof.
Yeah, you know what?
Tin Roof, and shout out Real American Beer, Pat. Hey, they're here. Let's go.
I mean, this place is great. Away game, Tin Roof, they do a great job. You got Real American Beer out here. The people.
He's out. Taylor Decker out.
The people are great. Yeah, the people are having a good time. Got the whole entire
It's
team here.
beautiful
Caleb
here.
Gentry's here. It's going to be a great show.
Hey, I'm pumped up.
It's going to be a great show.
We got DJ Tom Mecca downstairs, too.
Yeah,
He's putting action views.
He was just plugging us. Could you hear him? He was plugging us.
Did he?
Yeah,
I heard him on the speaker. I didn't know he was saying that about us.
Absolute goat.
Oh, dude, he's great.
Dude, real.
even at our old establishment, always good to us.
He's been always good. At Eastern Market when we were there, you brought it up
He's a
earlier.
hell of a DJ, too. All right, well, more on this defense. We got through Joe Mixon. All right, we talked about the Nico Collins thing. C.J. Stroud, I will say, if you look at quarterbacks just as a player, this is probably – I mean, where would he rank amongst who they play?
First.
Would it be him or Stafford?
Oh, yeah, I
would say I think Stroud's better than Love, so I would probably say first or second.
The problem, though, is that he doesn't have his weapons. If he was fully healthy, like if their offense was fully healthy, you'd be like, this is
the thing that he does really
offense.
well, I will say, he doesn't turn the ball over much.
He had 4 turnovers on the year.
That's the thing with these safeties now. I mean, he might be more conservative, no Nico, but they got to continue to get takeaways here.
But that's the
punch outs maybe instead of picks
with Kirby Joseph. Like that's why it's so beneficial to have a former wide receiver playing safety, because you know what a quarterback's eyes are going to be looking like. You know that, okay, if a quarterback's going to want to throw to me late, his eyes might be looking over here, but you just look at the play design. He plays so well at just getting the ball and just tracking. Like Aaron Rodgers is known for not turning the ball over. Aaron Rodgers last game in Lambeau, dude's picking him off twice, sending him home.
Right.
So Kirby Joseph, yes, a guy that doesn't turn the ball over in C.J. Stroud. But if somebody's going to be picking him off, it's that boy Kirby. He's been on a tear lately.
I will say.
Wouldn't be surprised if he keeps the heater going, Boone.
I will. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. But I will say this is one of those games, and I've given out 5 interceptions throughout the year so far, and I've hit all 5 of them. And I was telling you boys before this, today is one of those ones. If people are like, "Oh, Booner, you just random," no, I will watch film on some of these quarterbacks. I'll see who their interceptions throughout the year, what players they're throwing it to. Is it linebackers, safeties, this, that? Today, I mean, I went last night. It was last night. I went and watched his interceptions, C.J. Stroud's. I'm staying away from it today.
Where did you say
smart.
You said it was a lot of the linebackers?
2 out of the forwards are linebackers. No, I don't. I've done it 5 out of the 8 weeks so far. Hit all 5. So I'm not gonna keep this thing. I'm not gonna keep it going today. Just because C.J. Stroud does. He takes care of the rock. He takes care of the rock. So I'm staying away from it today. I would love Kirby though to go get one.
Hey,
you know who I want one to get one today? Brian Branch.
Yeah, coming back.
Why? Hey, why can't a corner get one today?
I had a comment.
Jeff, we know why. Because
I had a comment.
Why not Terran Arnold? All right.
I had a comment.
We're running it back. Jeff, listen, me and you have been on this pathway. No pun intended with the Booner path. It's on a different side.
It's
a different interstate.
Terran Arnold this week.
It's not going to happen this week. It's not. You know what it will, though? I'll give you this. We talked about the other day. Where'd Jack Campbell go to college?
Iowa.
Who'd they play against a lot?
C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Who
happened to pick off C.J. Stroud in both the last years in college? That would be one.
Jack Campbell.
You know what?
And if Jack Campbell ain't doing it, Alex Anzalone is.
We'll go shotgun. Once we get off, we'll come over there. We're all shotgun.
Oh, hell yeah. They want a shotgun. We got the dude.
We literally have
the shotgun.
Can we get him to egg? Here.
Oh,
it's empty. It's empty.
You're good.
All right, let's get one right there.
Load him up.
Hey, let's see right there. There we go. Hey, that's Tin Roof. Beautiful.
Hey, by the way,
beautiful establishment.
Real American Beer came out with the fucking John Rambo beer shot.
Oh my gosh.
You loaded up. We did it before. You loaded up in there. Put the beer in. You pop.
This shit is wild. The shotgun machine.
We need to. I don't know the company. We need to get the company's name to shout it out so people can get one of those. They're about to do one right now. Klotz, if you go look at our socials, Klotz did one.
Weak attempt. Hey, that's on me.
Shall we play it? Should we play it?
It's a weak attempt. That's fine. Hey, not my best showing. was to open up the night, but
Hey, it was start of the night.
Yeah, honestly, Klotz, I thought the execution
wasn't there.
Killed it.
I
I thought the execution was subpar. You did it. You did it.
We'll get one. Hey, Lions score. We'll load up another one. Throw one back.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now I want to see if I can play this.
All right.
Cock it, yeah. Hey, that's just start coming.
There we go. There we go. Hey, Jericho, baby. Let's go.
These guys are getting rowdy out here.
Let's go.
The boys fired up. Yeah, this is incredible. I mean, this thing is
shout out to River, shout out Real American Beer. I'm gonna try and find Klotzy's thing here.
Yeah, let's get Klotzy's shotgun using the I don't even know what the
we gotta figure out. We gotta ask him with
the Real American Beer John Rambo shotgun.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
I love that. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can get this. Let's see what I can cook
you guys can view it for yourself here. We'll put it on the stream.
I will make up for it. All right. Me and Cam Ward, bad performances this week. We're gonna come out next week. Big performances. It won't be next week for me, but tonight, second half.
Yeah, you're a second half guy.
Yeah. Hey, never count me out.
Yeah, I would.
Never count me out.
I would. IB3 says, "What are your bets tonight, Booner?" We're gonna play this. We'll get to the bets in a second.
I got bets for you guys.
Yeah, let's stick around. So we'll play this. Here's Klotzy doing the shotgun outside of Tin Roof. This is just electric. I mean, check this out. Look at this guy.
We are downtown at Tin Roof, Detroit Lions.
I mean, look at this.
Outside Tin Roof too. How about it?
He's showing grit.
Real American Beer, sponsor of Crunch Time. Mr. Cock.
Yeah.
Look at it. What's the pause? I meant cocking the shotgun.
Yeah,
I meant cocking the shotgun.
We got it. I mean, look at Lucas. The execution.
There we go, Klotzy.
You're Klotzy. Give it a 7.5 out of 10. That's good.
That's fair.
That's good.
Worse on
There we
Cam.
go,
Better on
Klotzy.
Cam than I thought. In my mind, I was giving myself a hard time. A lot of self-accountability on that one. We'll bounce back.
Hey, we're learning though. You know.
Yeah, we're learning. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
There we go. There we go.
I mean, this guy. He's got Lions gear. The chain. You got the chain.
The chain.
This is incredible.
Let's go, baby. Lions by a million. Lions by a million.
Speaking of a million, people need to win some money here. Bro.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me.
I've got a lot of bets here actually today. I've started getting in my bag a little bit. I've got this. Hey, you guys, as we know, we got 3 different props, right? For 3 different sections. Straight bets, Booner's Lay of the Day, and Klotzy, the legacy player. I think this year we're 8 games in. I hate to say it. I think we're 5-2.
Hey, that's fine.
And one of the losses,
15-2, just like the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
bro.
one of the losses, Tim Patrick. Went with Tim Patrick. That was a tough one.
Gotta have a bull. Hey, TP will make up for it. Playoff.
All right, this is a big thing. This is a big moment for me. I have 5 straight bets this week. Typically, I only 6. Typically, I only do 4. I have 6 straight bets, and I love them all. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
First one.
Okay.
Jameson Williams. He has returned.
J-Mo.
Klotzy, I told you.
Hey, somebody get on.
Somebody get on.
What is going on?
I told you he's inside the ropes.
No, you got to stand. You got to stand on that side. You got to go on that.
We got the camera roll. Hey. Here we go, Lions, baby.
There you go. Hey,
all right, J-Mo, though. J-Mo
just want to get a shot. I'm just wanted some love. It's all right.
That's all. He wanted to dance in front of the camera.
The heart of the
city. Lonely
Why did that have to stop? We were singing a good Jay-Z song.
All right, straight bets. Jameson Williams, he's back, guys. I think, and I've said it all day, and I had the conversation with Caleb, and Caleb loves the J-Mo bets as well. I think Dan Campbell emphasizes going at J-Mo today. I have Jameson Williams over 36.5 yards. On top of that, another straight bet. We're not putting them together, but another one.
All right. Another one.
Jameson Williams anytime touchdown plus 230. Plus 230. I think we see J-Mo in the end zone today. Primetime games, there are guaranteed scores. 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and 2, Jameson Williams in primetime. Give me J-Mo over 36, and give me Amon-Ra, or not Amon-Ra, J-Mo anytime touchdown plus 230. Next one.
Real quick before you get off that, just kind of carry your narrative, and it kind of contradicts what I said, but you think Dallas Cowboys, primetime big game. LA Rams, primetime big game. Jameson Williams makes catches in both those. LA or the Green Bay Packers, his rookie year, had a big catch, got called back, but you still saw that was like the first glimpse at J-Mo.
He loves primetime. Him and Amon-Ra love primetimes. Next one, fellas. Thought my computer died. Next one. Sam Laporta, Jeff. The line keeps getting lower. I think it was at 31.5.
At this point. I mean,
give me Sam Laporta. I got it at 32.5. It's at 31 now. Sam Laporta is going to get 2 catches for at least 30-plus yards.
I agree.
Sam Laporta over 32.5. Next one. This is the one. If you notice, too, all these guys that have had trouble with figuring out for the legacy player, I'm just throwing them in my straight bets. Jared Goff over 1.5 touchdowns. Basically even money, about minus 120.
It was plus odds at the beginning of the week.
Yes.
It made me like
over
scared
1.5. And I think he's only missed it 2 times this year. I could be wrong. Maybe 2, maybe 3. The man's going to get it today in prime time. Defensive prop. Promise it's not the interception. I'm not doing an interception this
I know
week.
what it is, though.
No, let me change that. Put the wrong name in there. You see that?
Oh, he sway.
Jack Campbell.
He had Anzo.
Over.
He had Anzo.
7.5 tackles. He's going to get 7.5 touchdowns. He's going to get 10. He's going to get double-digit tackles today. Give me Alex or Jack Campbell.
See,
I keep doing it.
because you know you want to pick Anzo. It just doesn't fit your narrative.
Give me Jack Campbell over 7.5 tackles. Love that. And the last straight bet I have, guys, this is the easiest one. The Lions are like 75% in covering since Dan Campbell's been the head coach of the Detroit Lions. On top of that, the last 8 games in primetime, they have covered the spread. Give me the Detroit Lions -4 today for the spread. That is the straight bets for today. You guys love them?
I love it.
J-Mo, Laporta, Goff,
I wish
Jack
I could nitpick.
Campbell.
I can't. Great bets.
Love it. All right, that's going 6-0 there. Booner's lay of the day. Everyone right now in the chat.
Lock it in.
Everyone in the chat right now.
Phones out.
Get your phones out.
This is a lock, too.
Yeah, you got to place these. Place these as they come.
This
Great
is
odds.
the parlay that will not lose
Yes, sir.
responsibly today. Booner's lay of the day. First leg, alternate line. Sam Laporta, 25-plus yards. 1 catch, 25-plus yards.
You can do it.
Second line, David Montgomery, 40 rushing yards.
Lock it.
40 tonight is a lock for him. David Montgomery, 40 rushing yards. Third line, the other running back.
Oh.
We're going Sonic and Knuckles today.
He's averaging
Jameer
like
Gibbs.
130 yards.
60 all-purpose yards, alternate line. That's it. 60. Averaging how many?
Like 100. It's like 122.3 or something like that.
That seems like a lot, Klotzy. I don't know if that's
I'm
true.
telling over the last 4 months or 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. Over 4. I thought you meant the whole season. I was like,
no,
oh wow,
the last 4 weeks.
that is incredible. All right, love that, Klotzy. So 60 all-purpose. Fourth leg, Amon-Ra St. Brown. 50 yards. That's it. We talked about how
Get
Amon-Ra's
that in
going to have a
3
big game.
catches.
Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown 50 yards. And the last 2 legs, 6 legs. The last 2 legs, both quarterbacks, not just Jared Goff. Jared Goff and C.J. Stroud each to throw for 200 yards.
I love it.
6 legs. I got plus 794.
Because Goff's going to throw for 200 regardless.
You know,
Because I think that's going to be that type of game.
Yes.
But if C.J. Stroud, if he's
gonna
down,
have to.
yeah.
He's
that's
Exactly.
my thought process. And people are like, Booner, why are you putting the Houston Texans player in there? They're going to be losing.
Yeah,
They're gonna have to throw.
for 200
They're
yards.
going to throw for the ball. So I got
love it.
Laporta 25, Demont 40, Gibbs 60 all-purpose, Amon-Ra St. Brown 50, Goff and C.J. Stroud both 200 yards, plus 794. I don't want you guys to see. I don't want you guys to see the legacy player.
All right. I love it, though. But
Legacy player. I
Oh,
wish
here
we
we
need to
go.
get some music for the legacy player one day.
Drum roll, please.
We got music in here. I mean, this place is bumping.
Who that is? All right, legacy player. Detroit Lions today. 5-2. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm fired up.
We are hitting this bet as a crew. I guarantee all of you guys are going to have this bet. I already placed it. There is one player today in prime time who always
Like where you're going
shows
with
up in primetime games. And I've switched this legacy player 3 times now. But as I sat here thinking, one of my favorite players in the NFL.
This is the one.
Hey, my dog.
Yeah.
My dog, my friend. He is my friend. Give me the sun god, Amon-Ra St.
There you go.
Brown,
Great choice.
over
Great choice.
68.5 yards.
Lock it in,
And
Bill.
then also, anytime touchdown plus 130, that is going to be a crew bet here. So when the legacy player hits, we all have it in. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the whole bar is going to have it. Everyone in the chat's going to have it. And Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to make us all money. Legacy player will move to 6-2. I see Jared Goff on the screen right now.
Lock it in.
Oh, he's
Unbelievable.
dialed. He is dialed. I love it.
Unbelievable.
Great stuff.
Beautiful.
Amon-Ra St. Brown. Guys, I had J-Mo as my legacy player, but it was between J-Mo, Amon-Ra, and Jared Goff. Those 3.
Okay.
And when we're talking about it, I was like,
Bro.
dude, Amon-Ra in primetime
He's
games.
dependable.
He has scored in
J-Mo
6 straight
next week
games.
against Jacksonville.
But I think even today, what I did is I took Jared Goff. What?
No, go on.
I took Jared Goff, moved him to my straight plays, moved J-Mo to my straight plays. I said, just give me Amon-Ra today. I need to go 6-2. I need to be 6-2.
I mean, he's the guy you lean on. I mean, for that type. For you need someone to show up. Who do you go to? You go to him. All right.
I'm 6-2 now because we played 8 games, right? I would be 7-2 next
yeah.
week. I'm in Rob would
Yes.
say. Okay.
Okay.
I had the number wrong the whole time.
Great stuff. You guys can get on, rewind it because you're going to want those bets. Game starts about 10, 15 minutes. So
Hey,
lock them in.
if you are close to downtown within 20 minutes, come watch the game.
Yeah, come watch the game. We'll be right
We're going to be live, but there's so many people here. It's a good time.
Have a real American beer.
Yeah.
Once the Detroit
Yep.
Lions win, I think I might run down the street to Ford Field and do a Kool-Aid show.
We'll do that.
Actually,
We'll
I
be
don't
on the
know.
move.
I kind of want to do it out here with the people, whoever wants to come watch it.
Yeah, let's do it that way.
I
know,
You can get it. You can. We will
Ford Field
figure
will be
it
in
out.
the background.
Yeah,
Hey.
we'll get it. We'll get it right. Maybe in the middle of Woodward.
Fellas,
Oh,
we
hold
talked-
on. Let's not go. Oh, yeah, we got to do score prediction. I'm going to switch this real quick.
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday. For people that did not listen, final score predictions.
I'll start it off real quick. Hey,
Yep.
I said it on Friday. I think the Lions, offensively, their momentum not slowing down. I still think they put up a lot of yards, a lot of points. I'm giving them 34. Houston, Joe Mixon will be involved in that first half, and I think the game gets away from them. I think they only score 17 points. So the Lions double Houston's points at home. Give me the Detroit Lions 34, Houston Texans 17. Lions win by 3 possessions yet again.
I love it. I mean, I have a closer game. I do. I think
Bro,
they cover the
scared.
spread. Oh,
Scared.
I think they cover the spread. I have the Lions winning 27-20. So I have them, going out, winning a road game, covering the spread like Dan Campbell always does. I do want to give the Texans some respect here. That was before Nico Collins I thought he was playing. I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to just switch up. I'm going to leave it. 27-20, maybe less confident without Nico, but I think it'll be a touchdown game, but the Lions still cover.
Yeah. All right, this is what happens here, fellas.
Let us know.
We have seen for the last 5 or 6 weeks the Detroit Lions dominate teams. And we always go into these games and be like, hey, teams are going to put up a fight. Maybe this is the week that someone finally gives the Detroit Lions some type of – it's not happening. No Nico, no Stephon Diggs, no Will Anderson. 3 of their top 5 players are out of the game today.
Bad offensive
And we're in
line.
prime time. The
Yep.
Detroit Lions perform the best in prime time. They are good on the road. Let's just be honest here. Detroit Lions 42,
Oh,
Houston Texans 24.
Hey, I like it.
42
I
to
like it,
24.
That's
So what, you
42.
got an 18-point
24.
difference. I got a 17.
I see a game where it's a blowout, and maybe if you want to correct time,
so I'm the only one giving them respect. That's fine.
Hey,
Yeah, I think so.
if you want to correct it and maybe say at the end of the game the Texans are going to bounce
I don't
back,
even-
don't see it.
It's not even giving the Houston Texans respect at this point. I think that's disrespecting the Detroit Lions.
Oh,
I mean, on the road, they just laid whoop ass in
You
Green
did.
Bay in Lambeau.
That's
Going
fair.
into Houston, ooh, hit the LeBron.
Oh,
ooh.
my gosh.
My God, this team, I guarantee you, Houston, they're shaking.
The Lions
right
have
now.
done this to
Legs
us.
are shaking.
Our
Legs are shaking.
bellies are full.
Houston
what's going on.
shaking. Dan Campbell's twiddling his toes.
No, I
What's
mean, I don't
going
hate
on?
it. I mean, if the Lions going to blow out, I'm not going to be shocked.
You know what? It
I just think
stinks
it'll be
when
a
we do
closer
these
game.
shows,
That's
though,
all.
and it's just like a blowout because we're just like,
It's okay. We'll see how it goes.
You know?
I mean, hey, by the way, please, every single one of you watching, which we appreciate you, make sure you're there for the watch party. Watch party's electric. We're going to have people reacting. We'll be reacting.
Yep.
We're drinking real American beer. We're going to have some awesome reactions.
Down here at Tin Roof.
Yes, have some parlays in. We're placing them like Booner just read. Hey, we got money to win, Lions to win. Let's get after it. Appreciate you all. Continue
game
to
is
support.
at, what time's the game at?
8:15.
Get your merchandise, officialctsports.com. Fuck the Packers shirt for the next
Absolutely.
Packers game. And anything else. Continue to support. We appreciate you
I'll
guys.
put
Thank
the-
you, everyone.
Hey, I put the link in the chat for the show. It also should redirect you.
There you go.
We'll be back live
We'll be
at
back,
I think,
hey.
8:15, 8:20.
We'll be right
Before
back.
you
Hey.
leave the stream, like it, and if
There
you're
you go.
new here, hit that
Subscribe.
fucking subscribe button. Crunch time to the Moon Boys.
There you
Let's go,
Catch you in a
baby.
little bit.
Hey.
Hey, shout out
Boys.
to Roof. Shout out Real American Beer. We'll see you guys at 8:20.
Shout out.